Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Now, I promised you a video, didn't I, later on in the day, and what we've got now is the English version of the Sojourn gameplay trailer, because of course the Mandarin version was leaked earlier on in the day, which is a big unlucky for Blizzard, but also we've got a breakdown of what the abilities actually do, so no longer do we need to speculate. But before we do that, let's just watch the English version of the trailer and just see what the hell happens. Let's do it.
Sojourn, engaging. The world could always use more heroes. If only it were that easy. After all, heroes aren't born. They're made. Attack with me! Not on my watch.
I cannot be stopped.
Canadian hospitality.
Enemy forces incoming. I'll clear a path.
Sojourn, engaging. Coming through. Ha! Disrupting. Breaking them down. Nice work, team. Keep it moving.
Look at them thighs. Oh my god.
We're playing by my rules. Railgun powered and ready to fire. Now or never.
The Hammond, he always gets me, the Hammond.
Never tell me the odds. I already know them.
Okay, that's the trailer. Okay, so remember with Overwatch gameplay trailers, they make the heroes look totally OP. Like the Railgun is probably not killing Bob from 100% HP to nothing and killing everyone. Because if it was, that would be slightly broken. I think you would agree, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, let's move on to this because this is the meat of the video because we've got this blog post and it's going to go into detail on Sojourn. So it says, heroes aren't made, they're born. An in-depth introduction to Sojourn. So it says, Sojourn is ready to deploy. As a former Overwatch captain, Sojourn fields abilities designed to plan, lead, and execute strikes on her opposition. Like, no shit, she's got a railgun, so she's executing the opposition, all right? The 33rd hero on the roster, Sojourn offers a unique mid-range gameplay experience and a kit. I mean, mid-range? This railgun ain't mid-range. Packed with some incredible mobility and artillery. Senior hero designer Josh No has been leading the charge on her gameplay development, while narrative designer Miranda Moya wrote many of Sojourn's in-game voice lines. They're both here to give us an insight into her conceptualization and playstyle. Okay, so the first thing we get is this, and this is nice. So obviously we've got the little DPS icon in the bottom right. She is a DPS hero. We know that. That's been known for a while. So primary fire is railgun. Rapid firing projectiles that generate energy on impact. Secondary fire, high impact shot that consumes stored energy. So we could see this in the gameplay trailer. You find primary fire, if I could speak, charges up the railgun, and then you fire the railgun. So you've got primary, charging up your alternate fire. That's pretty much a given. That's good stuff. Powerslide, ground slide that can cancel into a high jump. And we see that throughout the trailer as well. That just seems incredible. I mean, I read this and I'm just like, rip soldier. Rip any kind of hit scan. Just play Sojourn. What the hell? Disruptor shot. Launch an energy shot that slows and deals damage to enemies within it. Don't know why there's a slow on a DPS hero. I'm pretty sure they said they wanted to put stuns and slows onto tanks. So the first hero in Overwatch 2 is a DPS and gets slow. I don't know. And the ultimate is Overclock. Railgun energy auto charges for a short duration and charge shots pierce enemies. So compared to just the alternate fire, which is just a railgun, which charges up off your primary fire damage, the ultimate just rapidly charges it, and then you fire a railgun shot that penetrates targets, as we've seen in the gameplay trailer. Pretty cool stuff. So let's go into detail here. What did the dev say? So on the railgun, the railgun's primary fire is a rapid projectile that generates energy on hit. The energy Sojourn generates from her primary fire, charges up her secondary, which is a high-impact shot that consumes the stored energy. The railgun is where Sojourn started, says No. We wanted to make a mid-range hero that rewards accuracy but still make it fun for varying levels of skill and gameplay. Sojourn can be a difficult hero to play. The more accurate your aim, the more effective you're going to be with her railgun, resulting in a high skill ceiling with a lot of power weighted in her railgun's secondary fire. That's key info. Her playstyle highlights her character and personality. Sojourn's someone who is super detail orientated and thorough. There we go, I can read. Which I think leans into her kit being accuracy heavy. She's a brilliant tactician and definitely a massive, well, I literally cannot read. A measure twice, cut once kind of person, says Moya. Now, what is cool here is they are straight up saying, look, if you miss railgun shots, you've got no value on this hero. So maybe Soldier isn't dead after all. Maybe Cassidy's going to be fine. Who knows? But like, if you can aim and you can railgun people, I think she's going to be disgusting. Right, let's talk about Disruptor Shot. Now, this is the one that's weird because why give her a slow? It just seems crazy. Anyway, Disruptor Shot is an AoE ability that will snare enemies and eat away at their health. Sojourn can use this to increase the effectiveness of her railgun. Early prototypes of this ability did massive damage to barriers, but the ability was finalized to complement her secondary fire. Disruptor Shot evolved from shredding barriers to slowing down enemies with snare that allows Sojourn to get an easier shot with her secondary fire. It's best to keep your eyes on Sojourn. If you get caught in her Disruptor Shot, there's a good chance she has you in her sights. Sojourn's cybernetic abilities help her eliminate variables, explains Moya. The Disruptor Shot has a slow that improves her odds and makes her more accurate, minimizing any chance for mistakes. I mean, yeah, like, I don't think you probably need this. If you can aim and you charge a railgun up, why would you need to slow people down anyway? You're just going to shoot them. So I think this is just going to be used for its damage ability mainly. Seems weird it's got a slow attached to it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. All right, let's talk about Powerslide. Now, this looks ridiculous. This is like mobility on steroids. Like, oh my God, you've got this slide, obviously increases your speed as you're flying across the ground. You can do a super jump from it. Anyway, let's read what they say. Powerslide. Sojourn's Powerslide adds remarkable mobility to her kit. It's a rocket-powered slide that can be cancelled into a high leap at any time by jumping. Utilize this ability correctly and you'll be able to quickly reposition Sojourn. We wanted to add a vertical element to her kit to enable her to quickly access high ground vantage points and help solidify her role as a mobile damage hero. Says no. Her abilities are baked into her cybernetic body that allows her to execute her objectives, explains Moya. Sojourn has had a lot of cybernetic upgrades in her life, starting out of necessity in her childhood. Okay, cool lore. Eventually, she started opting in for cybernetic upgrades when she was in the military. Sojourn chose these abilities to become the most effective fighter she could be, a stark contrast to her fellow hero Genji, who was forced to take his cybernetic body. Her cybernetic body and abilities are a means to an end, but only her objective matters. So cool. So Sojourn has elected for most of the cybernetic upgrades, which is kind of cool, although some incident happened in her childhood which forced her down that path, which is cool. Give more info, Blitz, on that. Right then, so finally, we go on to the ultimate. This is Overclock. Sojourn's ultimate ability automatically charges her railgun energy for a short duration and allows her shots to pierce enemies. Overclock is another example of how mechanical skill and accuracy is greatly rewarded with Sojourn's kit. When she activates her ultimate, her railgun secondary fire will enable her to quickly eliminate enemies with high-powered shots. We wanted it to feel almost like the hitscan version of a Genji Dragon Blade, says No. You will have a limited time to make a big play, or you could miss all of your shots. We're anticipating her gameplay to evolve, but we have noticed trends throughout testing up to this point. She's probably not going to be a hard flanker, but it's easier for teams to spread out in a 5v5 world. You can poke from wider angles, and that's where Sojourn's mobility becomes important. Powerslide enables Sojourn to skirmish with enemies, then retreat to her team when she needs help. We're looking forward to seeing how people play with Sojourn in the upcoming April the 26th beta. We know she has a high skill ceiling, No says, so the team will be looking at how she performs at different skill levels to make her feel good for everyone. This is an important moment for our team because we feel Sojourn represents what makes Overwatch special, both as a game and an idea. The world could always use more heroes, and the choice is yours to answer the call. Okay, cool. At least we've got a breakdown of the abilities. So if I just scroll back up, we can see the abilities being broken down in that graphic. Looks like a high skill hero. you've massive high skill ceiling, you don't land railgun shots, you get punished, which I think is probably a good trade-off if the railgun is devastating. Now, obviously, the issue is really good players are probably always going to play Sojourn, so maybe the higher you go through the ranks, and they kind of alluded to that at the moment, obviously ultimately ending up at Overwatch League, is Sojourn just going to be a pick all the time in Overwatch League because those guys never miss? And then, like, you know, if you come down to the ladder, your top 500, your, you know, GM players, are they just going to be cracked out of their mind on Sojourn? Is Sojourn going to be a super carry? Imagine if you come into Overwatch and you start playing. I always use Shroud as an example for this, but I remember when Shroud came in and tried to play Overwatch a few years ago, he just left because there was too many barriers. But if he comes into this Overwatch 2 world and he gets Sojourn, and let's say he places in Platinum, well, we know Shroud has got incredible aim. So surely he'll just kill everyone because it's 5v5 and maybe it's more independent. You can flank more. They even alluded to that in the article. So I don't know. Interesting stuff. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. It's nice to have some solid information on Sojourn. It'll be nice to get a bit more information on her lore as well. But yeah, I can't wait for this beta to come out. I want to play this hero. We need to get to grips with it. We need to see what's going on. And yeah. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, well, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, follow me on everything, which is @Stylosa, and I will catch you lovely lot on the next video. Toodaloo.